Okay, so here's my idea. So we hire a train guy to
This is
like
wild.
stop the train and then have him like stop the train and then we all get into our cars and like it doesn't seem like a real proposal because we're like just stop behind this random train. Then everybody gets out of their car like La La Land and just like starts dancing full on flash mob with like and then yeah, just like the proposal happens and then
Oh,
we
just normal. You just normal like
yes, and then we get
just normal.
Chick-fil-A and boom.
Wait, are
What is
you?
happening right now?
Are you?
I I don't understand anything that is being coming out of Tikva's
It's
mouth at
my
the moment.
proposal. It's a cool idea. Flash mob and Chick-fil-A. It's a perfect.
But what does the train have to do with it?
The
It's just
train
like it's
because it's yeah. Well, yeah. I can't explain it.
it's like a transition into because
It's
like
the perfect transition.
yeah, like we're all stopped behind this and then boom, flash mob. You know,
Flash mob dancing into Chick-fil-A?
dance mob flash dancing flash mob.
Flash. Meg.
Dan-
Wait, are you recording?
Oh crap. Well, I guess
Oh my gosh, dude.
we're not taking this out now.
All right. Well, welcome to the episode.
Yeah, welcome to the new episode.
Ladies and gentlemen, my sister, Tikvah Kallio,
His favorite.
shares her hopes and dreams for the future
Watching this
on the
close to
podcast.
me, now you know.
All right.
And to everyone out there listening, you're probably like, what is going on? We don't understand. Don't worry, we don't either. So
I understand perfectly. I explained the perfect proposal, and if Asher wants to propose with that, I'm okay with that. And if you and
No, I'm not proposing to you, Tikvah.
no, not me.
That's not gonna.
And
that ain't
gonna
gonna
work.
fly.
re-propose to Rowan, you know how. I just told you. That's how you do it. It's perfect. Flash mob and Chick-fil-A. It's the perfect pair.
I mean, I feel like that would work if like you and your girlfriend like met in a Chick-fil-A, or
Or
something
both
like that.
worked there or something.
Or
Yeah.
both love the food.
I mean, I
Who
guess like
doesn't?
maybe if you had your first date there or something.
No, just like the food. It doesn't have to be a big thing. I just like the food. So.
That's fair.
Yep. And then
Then we get married.
Anyway, welcome to the Living Uncharted podcast, everybody.
okay.
What's up, everybody?
Hello.
Yeah.
Back in the studio together.
That's actually not true. He's
It's
lying. We're not even in the same state right now.
Oof.
So
Wow. This is the furthest away we've ever been recording.
I thought you were gonna say it's the furthest away we've ever been from each other, and I was like, I'm pretty sure that's not true.
No, not at all. But Seth leaves me all the time, guys. It's very sad.
Yeah, I kind of make it a toxic relationship.
Wow. We're not going to get into that this episode. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, at some point we'll have an episode where we bring in a third party, and it's just
Uh-oh. It's a therapy episode.
oh man.
Well, I'm not a licensed therapist, but today could be that day.
There we go.
Also joining us today, we have Mr. Hansen.
Hello.
What's up, hey?
Visiting my family with me in Minnesota.
Yeah, and I don't regret it.
Much.
Yeah,
You
can be
mean you don't
honest.
you don't regret it yet.
I
Not
mean, like
nearly
you
as
you
much
have
as
to
I
hang
thought I
out with
would.
all of Asher's family for like a couple days. Like it's okay to be honest.
Well, see, I thought that I would regret it a lot, but I think they're actually brainwashing me so that I don't regret it.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it's like a get out situation.
Yeah, they were like standing around my bed and chanting last night with like candles.
You didn't get hypnotized, did you?
No, it didn't take.
Okay, they tried. They tried. Okay.
We gave it our best shot.
Yeah.
He was pretty strong.
Easy mode.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, so we're happy to have Shay on. He's not like a normal guest where like he's gonna be our main interviewee for the day.
I'm
Um,
just here to cause problems.
pretty
he's
much.
a support host. Honestly.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. Because Asher is reeling from how good of a job his sister did in the intro. So Shay's here to comfort
Yeah,
Asher.
that's just um the confidence is not at an all-time high. I'm scared that my ratings in the polls will all drop and Tikva's just gonna become the next president of the podcast. So yeah,
Kill or be killed. That's how it
yeah.
works.
It's
But
she's way cuter, but I think my voice is just it's got that silly sweet quality that hers will just never have. So
Buttery smooth.
Shay, is that
but
is that what you told him in order to
buttery
comfort him?
smooth.
Well, what I told him is that having me on the podcast means that you guys are scraping the bottom of the barrel for content.
Yeah,
I usually don't try to boost Asher's confidence.
That's
I would
fair.
say the opposite, honestly. Most of the time,
Just
it
bring it.
keeps me shockingly humble.
There you go. Go.
No, we have a real. Oh wait, Seth. I think we're forgetting a very obvious part of the beginning of the episode.
What's that,
Is
Asher?
there a weekly rant?
I love that.
Bi-weekly, I guess, but
I love that this has become kind of an unofficial part of the episode.
Tikva
Um, I
had some ideas for a rant, but they were all very petty. I'm sure anything that you have to rant about would be like substantive and
definitely not petty.
mature.
Well,
Mature for sure.
wishful thinking. It's definitely gonna be petty.
P,
I don't know.
P, to the
I'll
T,
keep it
T,
short this time.
Y.
Just a quick PSA. If you are not a cop and you own a Ford Explorer, why do you hate us? Because you know darn well that every time we drive past you, we slow down. Everyone around you slows down because we're worried that you're gonna pull us over. When in reality, you're just trying to sip on your Starbies and make it to work,
Ooh, whoa, whoa.
you know? So
I saw a Ford Explorer that had a bumper sticker that said "Not a cop."
That's a helpful
really,
little.
I still wasn't sure.
That
that's
sounds like something that a cop would say.
that's fair. To that person who had that bumper sticker, if you are indeed not a cop, I appreciate you trying to let us know. Um, that's
Too little, too late.
I don't know. I'd say it's at least a little bit honorable. But yeah, I don't know. Just like Ford will probably hate me for saying this because if you guys all actually stopped buying them, their revenue would decrease. But just for the sake of the good of humanity, just leave the Ford Escapes to the men and women in blue. All right. So,
It's even worse when someone gets a decommissioned squad car.
yes.
Because then usually you can distinguish between people that have the spotlight and people who don't. But if you've got the spotlight and you're not a cop, you're looking like a cop, my guy.
Or if you've got the guardrail on the front in your
The
front bumper.
guardrail.
Yeah.
If you have like one of those racks on the top, you're looking like you're gonna pull me over.
Anyway, yeah, that's it. I'm gonna keep it short today. That's This was on mine.
Interesting.
But yeah,
A rare moment
so
of restraint from Mr. Harper.
hey, I'm learning. I'm learning. All right.
Just know that this was not the only thing that Seth wanted to rant about. There's
Which
much
means
more rage.
we have more time to rant about the things that we want to rant about.
What do you want
There
to
you
rant
go.
about, Shay?
Mostly the fact that as a FedEx driver, I really get upset at the kind of people who don't use their front door. It's like
Oh, like of their house. Okay,
you're
I
gonna make
was
me walk all the way around to the back.
okay. That must
Please leave packages at
No, I'm
back
not
door.
talking about people using not the front door of their cars. Like, yeah,
that's what I was
I
wondering. I was so confused.
I have to climb in through the back every time.
I'll be
Uh,
sneaking.
that's
I'll be
fair.
sneaking around.
I can understand why that would be obnoxious. But dang.
All right,
Yeah.
after it's your turn.
I am angry about
Everything.
everything and nothing all at the same time. What does that mean?
That's deep.
I'm angry at the fact that sometimes when I eat a lot of food, my stomach hurts. Like, I just want to keep eating. Why do I have to be such a weak-bodied individual that, like, what?
Asher,
And
there
I'm
are starving children in Africa.
all
You are-
right. The guilt train's pulling into the station.
Oh no, they stopped the train. There's a flash mob.
Dude.
We're all going to Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man,
Yeah.
nice.
I'm just not really super down for the whole Russian or not Russian, the ancient Roman solution to that problem of the tonic that just makes you barf it all up so you can eat more food.
Yeah, that's
I'm
like
not trying to go that route.
that's kind of the most privileged you can be. Maybe not the most, but like you're pretty privileged if you are inducing yourself to vomit just so that you can eat more. That that's pretty douchey.
I don't think any of the three of us need to worry about pretty privilege, bro. I don't think we're benefiting from that.
I just meant privilege in general, but
It was there. I had to take it.
um
No, guys, we've got once again an actual episode for you.
we feel like we have to remind you every time in case you forget or in case we go
Some
off the
real-
This
rails.
one's a real one.
All the
Guys,
other ones were fake.
we're serious.
Um,
We're gonna be talking about me.
yeah,
And
because
this is my favorite episode, obviously.
so yeah, Asher very recently took another trip out to Tennessee by himself and hit a lot of the same places that me and him hit when we took the trip together a couple years ago.
My efforts to break into Seth's house in the middle of the night and stuff him in a duffel bag to bring him with me were thwarted by he and Rowan's new cat. So
That's exactly what I was gonna say. I was gonna be like the cat just like tore into him.
If this was a video episode, you would notice that I have several gashes on my face
Like a
from where
whole eyeball
the cat
missing.
viciously attacked me. But
Yeah.
that's why we keep it audio for you guys. You don't want to see the cuts. So
He's suffering from cat scratch fever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, Asher, just to start us off, why don't you give us like a broad overview of where you all went? Because yeah, I know that you hit some of the places that we went together, but I also know you went to a few places that we didn't go to.
Yeah.
So yeah, why don't you give us a broad overview first, and then maybe we can dig into some of the specifics that you did.
Sure. So I decided, I think it was 2 days before I left, that I wanted to go to Tennessee. I'd been talking about it, but some schedule things were kind of up in the air. And I think like 2 days before, I was like, no, I can make this work. I have everything I need. and if I don't have it, I don't need it.
There you go.
So I I hit Louisville, Kentucky, which Seth and I had been to. Um,
Did you
I
actually do
was
anything there?
I had
Like,
dinner.
okay,
I'll talk about that.
okay. Sorry,
But it was
I'm
it was
already asking
pretty
you
brief stop.
I'm already asking you questions, and I told you to give a brief overview, so that's my bad.
Yeah. Broad overview. I hit Louisville, Nashville, all the vills really. Um,
Corella Deville?
I I think I did hit a lady with my car that vaguely resembled Cruella de Vil, yeah.
There will be
Um,
follow-up questions regarding that.
yeah, well, I lost my license as an EMT and as a driver, so it's
I
very
hope you find
unfortunate.
it.
I won't.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah. Thanks. Um, yeah, Louisville, Nashville, the Cherokee National Forest, uh, Gatlinburg, and Knoxville, and then back home. So it was like 6 days, pretty decent trip. Um, I was able to get that whole time off of work, and it's right during my spring break, so it was it was a pretty decent length of a trip. I was able to see a decent amount of stuff. Yeah,
That's
that's the
good.
overview.
That's I don't know. I think it's really cool that like the thing about our trip I feel like was that like we saw a ton of different places, which was cool, but the downside of it was that we didn't get to spend a lot of time in any of the individual
Right.
places that we stopped in.
Yeah,
So, um, yeah, I don't know. I guess we can. I'm just curious to hear about a lot of the specific things that you did. So,
yeah.
you know what you did better than I know what you did.
You
So,
know what you've done. Yeah,
um, yeah, why don't you just get into it? I mean, if you want to go chronologically, you can, but also like if you want to start with just like I don't know, what was the most fun thing you did, or like I don't know, you just you take it wherever you want to go.
sure. So yeah, I started out Monday morning, um, at like 10. Really didn't get a super early start. I picked up a tent and some camping supplies from my friend Daniel. Um, and I was really hoping to get just as far as I could that first day. I've never really driven a super long way by myself. Furthest I've come by myself is like
All
Minnesota.
by myself.
Yeah, real sad boy hours on that one. Um, the upside I learned on this trip of traveling by yourself is if you don't want to listen to uh, a nature documentary audio, then no one's gonna make you. If you want to listen to a nature documentary audio, no one's gonna stop you. You can
Okay,
do whatever you want.
that's fair. I thought at first you were like calling me out for like forcing you to listen to like a nature
I was going
documentary.
to, but yeah, I decided against it.
What did you listen to while you're driving?
I actually just put the headphone jack right into my arm and mainlined the We're Here to Help podcast the entire trip. I think I listened to 50 episodes, maybe.
Wow.
What?
It was insane.
Now, for
I
someone who
think,
doesn't know what the podcast is about, can you tell us?
yeah. So the We're Here to Help podcast is hosted by Jake Johnson, who plays Nick from New Girl.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
he does.
Um, and his co-host is Gareth Reynolds, who is just he was like a supporting character on one episode of New Girl,
Hmm.
and like Jake knew him from before that and like got him this gig as like a security guard in an episode. And so Gareth is constantly like calling back to this time that he was on New Girl like he was a big part of the show, and Jake is always like, you were in one episode. So their
Seems like he's riding the
dynamic
coattails of Jake Johnson a little bit.
definitely, yeah. But he is a very successful stand-up comedian in his own right and adds a lot. But like, yeah, he's kind of me to like I am to Seth as he is to Jake. It's like someone has to be like the main person, and then someone has to be supporting.
The ugly friend.
Right. Yeah. And less talented.
Hold on. Asher, I want to take this time to announce to everybody that you are not ugly and you're not allowed to talk about my good friend that way. So,
Oh,
Thank you.
well, I guess on your podcast, you make the rules. But this weekend, behind closed doors, you can't stop me.
Uh,
yikes.
when I come on your podcast, Shay, you can roast me to Kingdom Come.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Gosh.
No, I'm ready. I'm ready for it. But yeah, I listened to We're Here to Help for probably, I want to say 7 hours straight that day.
Jeez. How long are the episodes?
Mm, like 20 minutes, maybe. So, yeah, it was, I think maybe my mom could attest to this. I got back from the road trip and I noticed myself like having a conversation with her about the trip like I was on We're Here to Help. And it was very it was like an out of body experience. I was like, what's happening? But I couldn't stop it because I just consumed so much of it and hadn't talked to anyone all day. Yeah.
Dang.
You know what they
Have
say.
you recovered from that?
You are the podcast you listen to.
Yeah.
That's right.
You are what you eat. And I eat podcasts for breakfast. So anyway,
I was about to say you were
um,
eating Jake Johnson, but you know.
whoa. um,
Anyway, we can move on from that.
nope, nope, nope. I don't want to get canceled today.
That's
Yeah,
for
so
tomorrow.
that's next episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, that first day was pretty much all driving, just seeing how far I could get. I got to Louisville, um, and it was about dinner time, and I was like, Seth and I had been there. I didn't want to see the Bat Factory again
That's fair. That's fair.
for obvious reasons. But I wanted to I was like, we were here before. We didn't really get to check anything else out. And so it was like right on the way to Nashville. Um, and so I walked around a little bit and there was like nothing. It was like 6, 7 p.m. Very few people were out walking. A bunch of things were closed. I was like, what is going on? I don't know if I just wasn't. I was in downtown Louisville. I thought that there was stuff to do, but um, there was not. So I ended up at this gosh, what was it? I think it was a Kenyan place
Oh,
that I had dinner at. It was some no, it was
Ethiopian?
African cuisine, Ethiopian. That's what it was. Um, and it was pretty good. I was It was very funny though. I sent a message to my mom and dad like I'm in Louisville, Kentucky eating Ethiopian food. Like you made me this way kind of thing. And so yeah, that was a little weird side quest, but like when you're traveling alone, you don't have to eat anywhere you don't want to.
that's
Like I
true.
wasn't gonna go to any of these boring places. Um,
Every time you say that, I feel like you're just like subtly like chipping at like
it's a neg, yeah. Yeah.
Seth made the last trip horrible.
Having sex was terrible. No. Um, my enthusiasm for solo traveling dwindled aggressively as the trip went on. So but yeah, that was that first night. Um, and I kept driving and got to this little town, like I think like a half hour, maybe an hour outside of Nashville that first night. Um,
The small town that every country song is actually writing about.
it was actually that town.
Yeah, that one.
So I think I met Morgan Wallen's parents,
Wow.
Chris Stapleton's sister,
Like all in the same area? Like they're just
another
chilling
country
together?
song. Yeah.
They were all
Dang.
wearing name tags, so luckily you knew what they were.
Yeah. Yeah, we all just met at the grocery store and I was like, Mrs. Wallen, what are you doing here?
Long time
Uh
no see.
yeah, so found a Walmart and I was gonna camp like in the woods, like Daniel and I have done before outside of a Walmart. There really wasn't any woods. So I just decided on the back of the car camping. I like folded my back seat down and um put a camping pad into the trunk from the back seat. Yeah. So not the best night of sleep I've had, but it was a lot cheaper than a hotel, so it's kind of what I was going for.
There you go.
Yeah, next morning drove into Nashville, paid $60 for parking.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I didn't realize until I'd been sitting there for like a half hour that it was like $3 every 15 minutes.
Dang.
And then I was like, well, I might as well just stay in this parking lot for 24 hours. Because that was like
Of course.
after so much time, it was like the max that you would pay was 50 some bucks. And then of course there was like the shipping and handling fees on top of that.
Right.
Even
Processing
though
fee for
I didn't
for
send
parking.
anything in the mail.
Yeah.
Um
And then he found out you didn't actually have to pay for parking. It was just some guy standing in a parking lot.
Give me money. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
kind of creepy because there was also this system that like let the parking lot know that I had like parked there. So they were like, no need to like sign in, just pay and drive out. And we'll know when you get here and when you leave. And I was like, all right.
We've been
Don't
watching
love
you
that.
since you left home.
We are eagerly
left-
awaiting your arrival.
Since you left home in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, 54901. We also know your IP address. Anyway,
Should we leak your home address quick?
Yikes. No, not yet. Do that for clout later. I don't know what kind of clout that would get
I'm
me,
not
but
really sure what's happening right now, but
anyway, I'm in Nashville, walking around. Nashville during the day on a weekday is kind of underwhelming.
I can
Just
imagine.
a bunch of like drunk bachelorette parties and old people. Yeah, I don't know. I was, I don't know what I was hoping from Nashville, but I didn't get it. Um,
Huh.
I think I was excited because like when Seth and I went, we weren't of legal drinking age. And then I was in Nashville and I had one beer and that was it. So
And it was $60.
yeah, and it was 40, yeah. Um no, I went back to that bar, Luke Bryan's bar,
There we go.
and listened to some country music. I went to Kid Rock's bar and um yeah, he was like chucking money from the balcony. That was kind of wild. Everybody was like, "Look up there, it's Chris Rock." I was like, "That's crazy." Wow.
Chris Rock?
Kid Rock.
So, well,
Two very, very different people.
No, they're the same. Yeah, Chris Rock was just getting punched by it.
Oh my gosh, I
Um,
forgot about that. That's kind of
yeah,
wild that like Kid Rock was actually there though.
he was actually there and very much chucking money.
that's insane.
Um, yeah, I listened to some wild country music there. But then it was cool in Nashville. There's a Barstool bar. Um, and I went there that night. It was like 9, maybe. Um, and they were like teaching line dancing in there. So line danced for a
Dang,
while, and
that's fun.
yeah, that was the day in Nashville. Just walked around and saw the sights. I went to the Nashville Public Library, hung out for a while.
Did they have books there?
Nope, just empty shelves. No. They didn't have books, just guitars on shelves.
They don't read down in Nashville.
They don't read there. Yeah, slept in my car again that night because I didn't want to go anywhere else because I'd already paid for the parking. Um, so yeah, I guess I would just include parking costs in my lodging costs for the week.
There you go.
Um, yeah. Left Nashville the next morning. I like got some coffee, I think. I got this like $8 smoothie. They spelled my name wrong, of course.
How do you spell Asher wrong?
I think people just I like don't say it with enough confidence and they're just like, "Oh, Ashton." And then I don't want to be like the Karen of all Karens and be like, "Well, actually, that's not me." Yeah. So,
Oh,
I do it
Ash,
to myself. I was like, "Oh, Ashlyn." No, not that.
Not her.
Um, not her.
no,
Certainly
ashes
not.
to ashes, dust to dust.
That's a pretty name. Um, yeah, left Nashville and had lunch at a random Chick-fil-A. And then that afternoon, I made it back to good old Tellico Plains.
Oh yeah.
Big Teleco Plains fan. Um, something about it.
I know.
Country living, right on a river. It's great. Um,
Local
I went
diners.
local diners. Went back to that same diner. I'm pretty sure I saw the same girl working there that like served Seth and I 2 years ago,
That's wild.
which is kind of crazy.
I mean, if you live
Um,
in Tellico Plains, like where else are you gonna go to get a
you're not
job?
really,
Like
yeah.
you're probably
Imagine
sitting
like commuting to Tellico Plains from somewhere else. It's
there.
like
Yeah,
this small town, but it's like the biggest small town around.
I commute from Nashville every morning.
Dude, that, that'd be funny.
I just really love that
Especially since
Tellico
it's like a
Plains.
3 hour drive from
Yeah.
um and I think Seth, we actually kind of did my loop in reverse um when we went. I don't know. Anyway, um I got
My loop? Wait, what are you talking about?
because I went down and Nashville is like kind of on the west side of Tennessee. And then I went over east to
Yes.
Tellico
Yeah, yeah.
Plains.
You're right.
And
That
then
is kind of the opposite direction. Yeah.
um so yeah, I got there that afternoon, set up my campsite. I'm pretty sure it was the exact same site as when Seth and I camped, which was pretty fun. Um
That's epic.
and then went uh all the way back down the mountain to Ironworks Grill for dinner. Um yeah, went back and um it was like I did a little night swim in
Ooh.
the lake on the campground. I think it's the I don't know what the campground's called.
Me
It's
neither.
like
I don't remember.
Indian campground or
Oh, no,
something.
you're right. Yeah. Yeah, it's actually right. I do remember that name
Which sounds terrible, but that's actually what it's called.
now.
Um
What was the temperature like when you were over there?
Pretty great. It was like pretty, I would say pretty similar to when we went.
Okay.
Like 60s, low 70s during the day, and then maybe like 40s at night. Um, so not really like freezing at night, but certainly cooler.
Yeah.
Um, got very lost coming back from the lake to my campsite. Um,
Did you
and
die?
I did a little bit. Um, but that's a story for another episode. I made it back, went to sleep. Actually, I slept with the rain cover off that night
Ooh.
because it wasn't supposed to rain. It was really nice to see the stars. Um, and then that next day, I woke up super late and did a little hiking. I tried to go back to that same waterfall that Seth and I found the first time around, but the road to it was closed because they're like building a new bridge or something.
That's valid. I mean, I feel there were a couple spots on that road where I felt like I was about to drive right off the road. So,
Yeah. So it's probably a good idea.
yeah.
But so I talked to this like park ranger and he was like, "Oh yeah, there's more falls around, but I don't know where they are." Um
So
he
helpful.
like kind of showed me this one spot that he thought there might be another one. I was like, "All right, I'll check it out." I went hiked down into this kind of valley and I found the falls in about 20 minutes. It was more like a trickle. Um, the whole state seemed like they must not have got enough like rain or snow because it was just very dry. Like that lake um was probably like 4 or 5 feet lower than it was when we went 2 years ago.
Huh.
Um,
That's kind of crazy.
and so there was like a lot of mud where there should have been water.
Well, there should have been not mud.
Should have been less mud. Um, yeah, hiked around a little bit down there. Um, it was right under like an overpass. Was kind of where this little stream was. And so people had chucked all kinds of things down there off of the bridge, I assume. There was like a lawnmower.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
there was a bunch of different like chunks of rebar and stuff. There
Nope.
was
No bodies, right?
no 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 human bodies. Dun dun dun. Um, there was, however, a speed limit sign with the miles per hour crossed out. And if you think that I didn't bring it back as a souvenir, you're dead wrong.
You have it?
Yeah.
Oh, let's
Yeah.
go. That's
So
epic.
Shay and I are currently trying to figure out what we're gonna put on it. 'Cause
That's
right
like
now it just says speed limit, and then there's an open space. So it's a pretty
that's
blank canvas for
that's like the best man
shenanigans.
cave like
I know.
type thing ever.
And that's kind of what I thought. There was like a family um coming like down the trail as I was coming up, and I just like chucked it off the trail and like went like 10 feet from it. And I was like, hey guys, enjoy the hike. And then I picked it right back up,
There you go.
put it in the back of my car.
Hey guys, nothing to see here. Just keep
Yeah.
walking.
I don't really know what someone would do if you had like it. I mean, obviously no one's using that speed limit sign anymore, but I wasn't really gonna find out if that was bad or not. So yeah, I've got that. Pretty sweet little souvenir.
I think what you should do with it is write like 120 on it and then hang it on the highway.
Wait a minute.
I mean,
Several
if
accidents were reported today on
But specifically on a stretch of like my commute,
that's oh boy.
you want to be like you want to just not be able to drive that day. So
well, no, I just want to be able to get to work faster.
oh oh okay.
Well, I drive 120 anyways.
Right.
Right.
I just want to feel better about it.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I don't think you'd feel better about it because then it would technically be legal to go that fast. So then
Well,
all
that's what
the
I'm
joy
saying.
that would come from it would be gone.
Oh, okay. Well, Asher, you and I are coming at this from two very different perspectives.
No, actually, you
Obviously.
don't understand. Then I would drive 140.
Oh no. Right. Wait. That doesn't make any sense. If it says 70 and you're going 120 and then it says 120 and you're going 140, I guess your car probably can't go
I
that
can only do
fast
so
anyway.
much.
Can't do that much, bro. So yeah, I was there. I was there Thursday. Slept Thursday night at the campground again. There's like really bad reception there unless you have certain carriers. I did not have one of the carriers that allowed me to have really any service at all. So I hadn't looked at the weather. I was like, it didn't rain last night, so why would it rain tonight?
Because that's how
It
weather works.
it turns out that that's not really a good way to forecast the weather. Um, so I think it was around 3 a.m. I woke up and just felt like a spit every once in a while through the tent. And I was like,
Crap.
I feel like I should probably put the cover on.
Hmm.
And then it got a little worse, and I heard like a little bit of thunder in the distance. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put the cover on. And so thankfully it was a super easy cover to put on. I put it on and it just poured the rest of the night. Thunder, lightning, like instantaneously close, like together. So
Dang.
it was very close to me. It might be the loudest thunder I've ever heard in my life. It was kind of insane. Um and yeah, I think it was like 9 or 10 the next morning. It's like, okay, be really nice if it could stop raining so I could put the tent away. And it did. Um, so packed up. Um, and I was gonna see my aunt and uncle. They live in Knoxville. I was going over their way to see them. Um, but they wanted to do brunch on Saturday morning. This was like Friday morning. I was like, well, let's check out Gatlinburg. It's kind of on the way. It was not really on the way, but it was like a weird, like little triangle.
Mhm.
So we'll check it out. So got to Gatlinburg, um, got some lunch, and then I got this receipt from lunch, the fateful receipt. Um, at the bottom of it, it said this receipt gets you free stuff. And I was interested. I was instantly interested, and it had like a free moonshine tasting on there and like a free little roller coaster thing. I was like, now it's a game. Um, and so I went and did the moonshine tasting. That was great. I went um just kind of walking around Gatlinburg. I found the roller coaster. I did that, and I like walk up to the counter. I'm like, "Hey, I've got a free admission." The lady kind of like rolls her eyes. She, her greatest mistake, she gave me the admission ticket and then printed me another receipt, which said, "This receipt gets you free stuff." And it had yet another moonshine tasting on it.
So you
So
went back.
if you're betting against me going back for another moonshine tasting, you're losing a lot of money. Um, and walking around finding all this free stuff took me pretty much the whole day.
What's the
Um,
over under on you throwing up all that moonshine after going on the roller coaster?
it was 0%. I didn't throw up anything.
I was gonna say, because yeah, you kind of sandwiched the roller coaster with
That
the
was not strategic at all, but it worked out
yeah.
in my favor. Um, yeah. And then um next morning got on the road and made it to Knoxville. Took me like an hour to get there. Um, had a very nice little brunch with my aunt and uncle. Um,
Nice. We love brunches.
yeah, it was really nice to like see and talk to someone that I knew. Because it had been like a whole week of hearing people on the phone,
Yeah.
maybe, which is great. But this was better. Um, and then yeah, drove from Knoxville straight back. I could have stayed Saturday and then came back Sunday, but I feel like I saw what I needed to see and um, did what I needed to do.
You came,
Headed
you saw,
back.
you conquered.
Yeah, that's a trip.
Nice. Nice.
Little
Nice.
little tidbit in there also. I was coming down the mountain in the Smokies, and out of the corner of my eye, I see a turkey, and it like flew across the road and almost hit my car.
Oh my gosh.
That was an interesting little bit. I'll
Nice.
probably think of more things from the trip that I'll just add into other episodes, but
There we go. Good
that's
deal.
that's the bulk of it.
What are your brief thoughts? Would you consider moving to Tennessee?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I'd consider it heavily.
Over
I
here.
think it would definitely depend on like where.
Calico Plains?
No, my extrovert heart would die in Telco Plains.
Yeah. That's fair.
I would waste away,
Nice.
but yeah.
All right. Good deal. We got our microdoses, y'all. They're coming up
Yes, sir.
with
Yes,
our
sir.
special guest Shay also sharing his, I think,
Yo.
hopefully.
Yeah, yeah.
Start us off, Shay. What you got?
Well, I bring to the Living Uncharted podcast your very first live adventure microdose. Because
Whoa.
it
Dun
is
dun
currently
dun.
happening. It is happening
Dang.
right now.
It is
Um,
happening.
yeah, so we're in Minnesota visiting Asher's family, and we're just that tight that he
We
invited
homies like
me.
that.
He invited me to come along, and
Yeah.
it's really a pretty cool experience. Like I've done similar stuff with like, oh, I was in a relationship with a girl, and she's like, oh, like come to my grandparents' house for a weekend. But I think it's pretty cool to do something like that with your homies.
It's definitely a lot different for sure.
And that has afforded us the also opportunity to have me on the podcast at kind of short notice.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
Really
I
the
found out
shortest
about it like
notice
a couple
ever.
hours ago. So
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I knew about it before you did.
Ouch. Yep. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I invited Shay to come. We're celebrating the March birthdays in the extended family this weekend. And I guess also Easter, but I think most people are leaving today, so I think they're kind of celebrating Easter on their own. But I I invited him very much thinking that he wouldn't want to come. And then he wanted to come, and I was like, "Oh yeah. Okay. I guess I'll have to like let my grandparents know that I'm bringing my friend." Yeah. And then my grandma texted me a few days after I told her that Shay was coming. And she was like, "Is Shay a guy?" And I was like, "I don't know. Let me ask him."
nice.
Yeah. There's some
Oh, that's good.
confusion, but
That's good.
It's understandable.
yeah.
Oh, dang.
But no, he's come and he fits in pretty well with the Kallio family and the extended fam. So I'm glad he
Yeah,
came.
I feel very at home.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. my grandma wasted no time in putting him to work,
Oh,
making the house presentable and making meals, and
I
yeah, it's
slaved over the stove all day.
all day. Yeah,
It's okay.
Nice.
yeah, yeah. I can go next.
Go
You want
for
to go
it.
last, Seth? Last shall be
Yeah.
first. So, my microdose for this episode is yet another firefighting class microdose. Um, there was some confusion on where we were at in the syllabus, and so um, Fridays are usually our practical days. Um, so working on our skills and everything, but nobody really knew what we were gonna do. Um, we're recording. This is on Saturday, so that was yesterday. We had class. So we showed up, and one of the instructors was like, "You guys ready to burn some stuff?" We're all like, "Huh?" Because our first live burn was supposed to be in like 3 weeks. Nope, they gave it to us this week. So we all like crowded into this like metal box of a room, and they just like lit a bunch of straw on fire in the corner of the room. And we were all in our turnout gear. We had our air on and everything. And it starts to like the instructor's yelling at us, like trying to explain what's going on. Because we haven't even had the chapter on fire behavior yet. So none of us knows like anything more than like, oh, fire touch straw, straw burn.
I'm
It was
imagining the Office episode with Dwight, like the fire 60.
there's a fire. You can't use the doors. The doors are hot.
What
Yeah.
do you do?
It was pretty much that. So yeah, there was the instructor like telling us what was going on, and then another coach like on a hose line just ready to put the fire out. So it burned so hot that it like the flames hit the ceiling and then like started mushrooming out
Oh my
on the
gosh.
ceiling.
That's kind of cool, right?
It was very cool, but also terrifying because, we're all starting to get like warm, and one of the instructors was like, "This isn't even hot yet." And we're all like, "What do you mean it's not hot yet?" Um, so yeah, that was wild. And then we did some more practice with ladders and stuff, and then we got to use fire extinguishers, which
Nice.
if you've never used a fire extinguisher, I hope you never have to, unless it's required for your job. If you ever get the chance to use a fire extinguisher in a legal way, it is very cool.
Or an
Um,
illegal way.
okay, that's that's kind of my zone, Seth. You're the legal one. I'm the one that
Right.
bends the rules a little bit.
That's my bad. Yeah.
Stay in your lane. Um, yeah. So we got to use a couple different types of fire extinguishers. It was a very tiring day, but very fun and kind of gave me like more hope for the rest of the semester. It's gonna be a cool last couple weeks. Not couple weeks. There's like 2 months left, but it feels like it'll be done very soon. So
There you go.
that's it for you.
Sweet. Mine this week is also of a similar ilk to what I've talked about in the past.
Ooh, more
Uh,
taxes?
yeah.
Did you do your father-in-law's taxes this time?
No. Um, no, my microdose is once again food related.
Okay.
So this past weekend, um, my wife's aunt and uncle they live in Florida. They're actually moving to Portugal in about like 2 weeks permanently, which is kind of
Jealous of
wild.
that. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, they're living like they have a house that's like right on the ocean too, so pretty epic. Um, anyway, they came to visit, and so this past Sunday, we all went to a Brazilian steakhouse, um, which if you guys don't know what that is, it's basically where like
It's a
you sit.
steakhouse where you can get Brazilians done.
No. Oh my gosh, no.
You want to get waxed and eat some meat all at the same time.
Wait, how many is a Brazilian?
Oh, that was good. Uh, no, so
One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight
all right. Well,
Brazilians in my
while
bank
Asher
account.
counts to Brazilian, I'm gonna keep going. Um, so it's a restaurant where you go in and they give you like this um this thing that has like a red side of it and a green side of it. And if you have the green side pointed up, it lets all of the waiters know to come by and bring you more meat. And if you have it on red, it tells them to like stay away. Um,
Leave
and
me.
so they will just come by and have like a bunch of different kinds of meat on different spits, or like I don't know what you'd call it, like on rods
Skewers.
essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, like really big skewers. And they will just like slice off fresh like cuts of meat for you. Um, and
Good
it's
enough to make a
unlimited.
grown man cry.
Yeah, it's unlimited. Like you can eat as much of it as you want. Bunch of different kinds of steak. Um, some chicken and pork too, but honestly, like don't like you weren't missing out much on the pork. It was kind of bad, honestly. But the different kinds of steak, fantastic. There's some lamb that was really good.
Mm.
Um, and then they also like to complement the meat, they would come by and slice off pieces of like grilled pineapple with cinnamon on it.
Oh, yeah.
And it was so good. And then they had like a buffet that you could like walk up to with just like a bunch of different like side items and stuff. Um, it was amazing. It was one of my favorite culinary experiences that I've ever had.
So your micro dose was really a macro dose of
Of
meat.
yes, exactly. Um,
Seth got 500% of his daily value of protein.
but it was so worth it. Oh, it was amazing. I want to go back. I don't know how much it cost. I didn't pay for it. That's the nice
Even
thing about
better.
having rich in-laws.
Trust
Um,
fund, baby.
yeah, that's me, the trust fund baby. Um, but no, at some point I do want to go back, like for a special occasion or something. And yeah, it was amazing. I felt like a king as they just like continue to bring over more and more meat and put it on my plate. And yeah, it was epic.
I was gonna say like the the whole like green card, red card thing, that kind of makes you miss out on the opportunity of just ordering your servants to bring you more meat. That
Yeah, but
it
like,
doesn't seem like if I'm paying that much to go to get a Brazilian cuts of meat, then I better be able to order some people around.
yeah. Well, so are you saying that like you're disappointed that you don't just get to like yell at people and tell them to bring you meat?
Yeah,
Okay. All
pretty
right. That's
much.
that's
Yeah.
fair.
It's just that when Asher normally does that, no one listens.
It's actually because I'm so short that my voice doesn't carry like a normal person's does.
Bring me some meat. I would like steak on a platter, please.
Just listen.
Now you listen here, Sonny. Anyway, so yeah, that was a good
Uh,
experience.
Oof.
Fun time.
I've been only once to a steakhouse such as this, and it was glorious. I did have to pay for it myself. And that part of it was less glorious.
Total L.
Big L. No.
It honestly, that is the correct way that meat should be consumed.
Freely.
Yep.
Without
hindrance.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. So,
All right.
good deal. Shay, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me. It's very fun.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have you properly sometime. Can tell us about the lives and times of Hansen.
Of Hey Hansen, that's right.
It gets kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, Hansen. Dun, dun. I don't know. I feel like we got to come up with like a theme song or something. Like,
Yeah. I feel like you can't come up with your own theme song. So
no. Yeah.
I'll leave it to you guys.
Someone, if any one person comes up with their own theme song, that's just
hey
kind of
guys, this is my new theme song that I made for myself. Could you please just sing it anytime I do anything? That'd be great. Thanks.
It's like giving yourself a nickname.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of terrible.
That's it.
All right. Asher, you want to hit him with the send off?
I think we all should just say it at the same time. Really gum up the audio. No. Guys, been a pleasure. I'd like to christen you with this send off. Go forth and live uncharted.